A WBTV investigation is finding more problems for a major developer in Rock Hill. We first told you about the company earlier this month. The chief financial officer was arrested and charged with embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars from an HOA. Now, investigative reporter David Hodges has uncovered a string of lawsuits involving the developer behind Riverwalk and more questions about how the company manages its money.
Who's struggling to get responses as you're reaching out to them? Who has questions about where the money's going?
More than a dozen homeowners from Riverwalk and Rock Hill finally had enough and wanted to share their story.
It just feels like our money goes in a black hole.
Riverwalk was developed by the Greens of Rock Hill and owner Mark Mather. Mather is also developing Avencia Homes right next door to Riverwalk and for a while controlled the HOA at Riverwalk. In June, the chief financial officer of Greens of Rock Hill, Lisa Rollins Hill, pleaded guilty to wire fraud and embezzling hundreds of thousands of dollars from two companies. Internal records show most of that money came from GRH and the HOA dues and fees paid by homeowners at Riverwalk. But the CFO has previously pleaded guilty to another embezzlement case back in 2012, raising questions of why she was hired in the first place.
That's a bit negligent, to be honest.
That's mismanagement. That's misrepresentation. I mean, that's just bad business.
Lawsuits obtained by WBTV show that is only one small piece of the financial confusion at GRH. In 2015, Mather was sued by one of his brothers, and GRH was named in the lawsuit. The case was about company finances and investments. In one filing, an attorney who used to work for Mark Mather said he had an account called The Goo, where Mather surreptitiously transferred his siblings' money into an accounting hole that Mark and another Mather brother created to fund other businesses, avoid taxes, and hide assets. The Mather brother hired a fraud examiner to inspect the accounting and finances of GRH. In one court filing, the expert said in 35 years as an accountant, he has never seen a more convoluted accounting environment in connection with a simple issue like owner equity, and has significant concerns about GRH's accounting practices. The lawsuit was ultimately settled out of court.
Who wants the state attorney general, federal investigators to look into this about what's going on here?
In a more recent pending lawsuit between another brother involving GRH, the brother accuses Mather of not transferring tax increment financing bonds from the Riverwalk project to a separate company as originally agreed upon. And in yet another lawsuit, a jury found that GRH violated the terms of a lease for the wine shop Grapevine at Riverwalk by not selling them the property after the lease period was over. WBTV reached out to Mark Mather again to ask questions about the accusations in these lawsuits, but we never received a response. In Rock Hill, David Hodges, WBTV, on your side.